One of the challenges is how do you take a formula that's very successful in one, dare I call it, culture, and then follow it to some extent, but appropriately adapt it to be successful in another location in the world. Many years ago, when I was working out of our European office, I can recall seeing a note written by an American engineer who said, well, this is only a 5% fuel economy hit. And I thought, well, that's great to say when you're living in a part of the world where fuel prices are relatively low, whereas in Europe it was significantly more expensive. A few percent is a big number. And so, we've had to take a more global perspective of things in order to try to drive that business outside of North America. You have to help people understand what the value is, and it is a product where you make an investment and then you see the payback over the use of the product. And so it becomes an investment proposition, and in order for people to feel comfortable with that, they have to be confident that they're going to see the benefits. And so there's a lot of trial activity going on where you sell a few units for people to try to see, are they going to see the benefits that we believe that they will see. And so that it becomes an arithmetic progression of volume. You may get a portion of the vehicle order that they have one year and they run them and they like them, so maybe the next time they order a few more, and then on it goes until hopefully you've penetrated the fleet out. Beijing City Bus, for example, when we first started out, they tried some of our automatics and some of their buys. This was prior to the Olympics, and by the time as they got the experience with the product, as they liked it, as they realized that it was going to serve their needs both in terms of durability and productivity, uptime, fuel efficiency, they continued to buy to the point where the entire fleet of roughly 14,000 vehicles were all Allison equipped at the time of the Beijing Olympics. I think we've had good alignment between the interests of the shareholders, the interests of the employees, certainly our suppliers, our customers, and the communities in which we operate. So in that sense, we've been fortunate. I think the key to that has been communication. We spend a lot of time talking with the different groups, making sure everybody is up to speed on what the plans are. To the extent that there are some issues that arise that require some further discussion, we hash that out and we're able to get to a consensus that says, okay, we're all comfortable with this plan and we're going to move forward. The other piece of that is you're constantly evaluating the plan to make sure it still makes sense in the context of the environment around you. Our job is to lead responsibly. So that everyone who depends on this business, all the stakeholders, have a future. That's really the obligation we have as leadership. There's a number of areas where we are certainly attuned to some of the environmental concerns and desires. First off is in the products. This notion of fuel efficiency. You consume less fuel, you create fewer emissions. That's a clear correlation there. So that's been a focus from the standpoint of the products. From the standpoint of our facilities, we've markedly reduced and gotten a number of the facilities certified as landfill free. We certainly use some green power, if you will, as part of our overall power mix. We've reduced our power consumption considerably. It's good for the environment. Frankly, it's smart business because it saves cost. In addition to the products, the physical products we've developed, there are technologies we're working on, whether it's electric vehicles, whether it's hybrids, whether it's IVTs and CVTs, the infinitely variable and continuously variable transmission technologies. All of those we are funding at a level that the learnings, the pace at which you can learn. I mean, you have to run the testing, and so we have got fully funded R&D activity. So we have the funds that we would seek and desire to do that. One of the things that I think a lot of folks talk about is the degree of change that exists today, and how does that change what you do as a company, as a business? And I think, I don't think it changes your purpose. I don't think it changes your vision or your direction. What it does do is I think you adjust your tactics. There's certainly some then you emphasize and others that you at least temporarily de-emphasize to address the conditions. And I think it places a premium on what I like to think of as the four facets of adaptability. The first one is to recognize relevant changes. There's a lot of change going on, but to be able to sort down to the ones that are most significant, have the most significant implications for your business is important. The second piece is then developing a set of scenarios that you can discuss with the board and with the management team, and then down select to a specific course of action. And then the real hard work begins to implement and execute the plan. And so as you do that, and then the final piece, the fourth piece, is then to be able to assess how effective those plans have been, and to adapt them, to tweak them, if you will, in order to continue the process of addressing the change that's occurring. And then you kind of go back to the top again, because then you're always constantly sensing the changes. Both the corporation as well as our employees give what I call the 3 T's: time, talents, and treasure. And you know, we think that that's not only a good thing to do, you know, from a human values standpoint, but we see some benefits in terms of teamwork and esprit de corps amongst employees, as well as it provides a positive benefit during some of our recruiting initiatives. A lot of the folks that are looking to join an organization, in addition to the products and the quality of the organization and the future the organization may have, they want to be part of an organization they can be proud of.